I did my first visit to Gyranda station to conduct the annual bull breeding soundness examinations for sale bulls and also to examine herd size. It was during that visit that Bernard Joyce and I had a conversation about this issue of which of the traits, which of the measures of fertility are the most important. And I said, well, if you look at the work that's been done and reported in Canada by Glenn Coulter and then in the USA by Norm Wiltbank, the trait that is very important is the percent morphologically normal sperm, so the percent normal sperm. And I said, this is something that we should be doing. It was a good physical examination, a systematic physical examination, measurement of scrotal circumference and palpation of testicular tone, but it didn't include collection and microscopic examination of semen. So it was from those early discussions that I put to Bernard that potentially we could do a study to examine how important each of these measures were using the approach that Glenn Coulter had used, whereby you mate bulls in groups and then you take a blood sample from them and assign size. Now, there was another piece of work that occurred around the same time as this that really enabled this study, which ultimately led to bull power being established, to occur. And it's a wonderful story because it was a late Sunday afternoon, as I recall, and I got a call from Bernard, very excited. He said, we've just won Grand Champion Steer at the Ekka. He's hanging up at Cannon Hill. And Bernard said, he's out of a multiple side mated herd. I reckon I know, just by his appearance, which bull side him. Is there any way that we could confirm this? The following week I went to the university and I eventually met up with the CSIRO researchers. And this was Jay Hetzel and Steve Moore. They were geneticists. They said, yes, we've got a DNA typing test, but it's never been used commercially. We've only used it once really on a large scale, and that was after a flood at Rockhampton had washed away the fences at Belmont Research Station, and they needed to reassign animals to the experimental groups. So they had used it there, but they were confident that the test worked. So a blood sample, and it was only a single blood sample, collected by Bernard, was sent down from Gyranda Station to the lab, and the sire was confirmed. And it was from that we then had the test that we needed to conduct the study, to look at what were the most important measures of fertility with respect calf output, which is, the ultimate test of fertility is, birth of calves, number of calves weaned.
So this was a critical step then, wasn't it?
It was absolutely critical step.
Okay.
In as far as facilitating, conducting a population-based study, because to demonstrate a relationship between a test done on a single bull prior to it being mated and its fertility, you need to have a large number of animals involved. And it had to be in a competitive, with this test available, I set up with Bernard this study. It was sometime after we'd set up the study that I got a visit from Dick Holroyd from Queensland DPI. And Dick said, I've heard about this study you're doing at Gyranda Station. I and a group of colleagues were planning to do such a study. Would you be interested in collaborating? And you know, quite obviously I was a young researcher at the time, and Dick was a senior researcher. This was a wonderful opportunity, and so I joined the Dick's research program. It was funded by Meat Livestock Australia, and that led to a large body of work